Dear learners, welcome back to your educational channel Learn and Educate, where we were studying a few basics about the Foreign Exchange Management Act. Continuing that series, now Section 2, Clause V, Person resident in India. Person resident in India, it means as per the Section 2, Clause V of Foreign Exchange Management Act, Subclause 1, a person who is resident in India for more than 180 days during the course of a preceding financial year. During the preceding financial year, when a person with respect to a particular previous year, particular financial year, has been resident in 1 year, and for the purpose of Foreign Exchange Management Act, the classification is a person who resides in India for more than 180 days during the course of a preceding financial year, but it does not include a person who has gone out of India or to stay outside India in the case of taking up an employment outside India. When a person who goes from outside India or stays outside India for the purpose of taking of employment outside India, or when the person for the purpose of carrying on a business or carrying on a vocation outside India, when a person who outside India carries on a business or a vocation, that person who has gone out of India to stay outside India for the purpose of carrying on a business or vocation outside India, that person, and for a person who goes out of India to stay outside India, either for any purpose in any such circumstances which will be indicated with his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period of time. When the person who has gone out of India to stay outside India in any case of the circumstances which indicates his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period of time, then that person, Section 2, Clause V, Subclause 1B, when a person who comes to or stay in India in either cases for taking up of employment in India, when a person who is resident of another country or foreign country, he comes to India for stay in India in the case of taking up of employment in India for the purpose of carrying up of a business or a vocation in India, and when the person who has come to India to stay in India in the case of circumstances which indicates an intention to stay in India for an uncertain period of time. Section 2, Clause V, Subclause 2. Any person or body, corporate who is registered or incorporated in India, in the case of individuals who, for the purpose of carrying on business, employment, or vocation outside India, when a person who has gone out of India for the purpose of taking up of employment outside India, when a person who has gone out of India for the purpose of carrying on business or vocation outside India, or in any other circumstances where his intention is to stay outside India for an uncertain period of time. First category, and second category, where a person who resides in India, where that person who comes to India or visit in India in the case of taking up of employment in India for the purpose of carrying on business or vocation in India, or any other circumstances which indicate his intention to stay in India for an uncertain period of time, would be, as per Section 2, Clause V, Subclause 1, a person who resides in India for more than 180 days during the course of preceding financial year. These were the cases in case of an individual who is resident and who stays in India during the previous financial year for a total period of 182 days or more, when the person satisfies the conditions he is resident. The stay in India. In the case of Section 2, Clause V, Subclause 2, any person or body corporate registered or incorporated in India, any office or branch or agency in India which is owned or controlled by a person who is resident outside India. When any office or branch or agency it is in India which is owned by a person who is resident outside India, is controlled by a person who is resident outside India. Any office, branch or agency outside India which is owned or controlled by a person who is resident in India, for the purpose of ownership and the controlling of a person, the control and management refers to the central control management and carrying on out of the business activities.